Welcome to Witty Joe's channel. Thank you for your incredible support. Your encouragement keeps us going, and we are so grateful to have you here. Today's topic, Breaking the Cycle of Betrayal, is an eye-opening sequel to our previous series, Overcoming the Betrayal of Loved Ones. In this episode, we'll move beyond healing, and dive into how to break free from betrayal's lingering hold, rebuild trust, and restore relationships through God's grace. As Psalm 34:18 reminds us, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. God is still in the business of mending hearts and restoring lives. If you're new here, check the description below for parts 1 to 7 of our series to catch up. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with others who may need this life-changing message. Stay with us till the end. God is ready to bring breakthrough into your life.
Welcome back, my daughter. What took you so long?
I stopped by to see Mom before going to the grocery store.
Erica?
Yes, Dad. Is there a problem?
No problem at all.
Dad, we need to talk.
About what?
I know you loved Mom so much, and I know you're still hurting.
It's true I used to love your mom, but I'm not hurting anymore, Laura. That part of my life is behind me.
Dad, Mom has moved on. She's happy. Why can't you do the same? Why can't you remarry?
I love you, Laura. My focus has always been on you. I didn't want to bring another woman into our lives who might make things complicated or disturb your peace.
Dad, you've been saying that for years. But I'm a grown woman now, and very soon, I'll be getting married myself. You need someone to keep you company, someone to share your life with.
I know, but it's not as simple as you think. I've just been watching out for you all this time.
I appreciate that, but it's time to think about yourself too. Maybe you don't want to trust another woman after what happened between you and Mom, but you have to try, Dad.
She told you about us?
Yes, she did. I understand why things ended the way they did, and I know it wasn't easy for either of you. But that doesn't mean you can't open your heart again.
It's not that I don't want to try, Laura. It's just difficult. The thought of starting over feels strange.
I know it's not easy, Dad, but you deserve happiness too. Love isn't always perfect, but it's worth giving it another chance.
You're wiser than your years, you know that?
I take after you.
I will think about it.
That's all I want for you, Dad. Just think about it, okay?
I will. For you, Laura. I'll think about it.
Laura, what's going on? You look like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders.
It's my dad. I just don't know how he'll handle it when we get married. He's been so alone for years, and I'm afraid leaving him will make it worse.
You're worried about him being lonely?
Exactly. He's always said he didn't want to remarry because he didn't want to disturb my peace. But I think that's just an excuse. The truth is, he's still hurting from what happened with my mom. He buries all his pain in work and prayer, but it's like he's stuck in the past.
I think you're right. It sounds like he's built walls around his heart. Trust is a hard thing to rebuild, especially after betrayal.
And it's not fair. My mom has moved on, built a new life, and he's still carrying all this pain. It's like he's punishing himself, and it breaks my heart.
Remember what the Bible says in Matthew 11:28, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Your dad doesn't have to carry this weight on his own. God is ready to give him peace and healing if he'll just lean on him.
But my dad prays all the time. He's one of the most prayerful people I know.
That's good, but maybe he needs to pray with a specific focus. He can ask God to help him trust again and open his heart to love. Sometimes, healing starts when we're brave enough to ask for exactly what we need.
So, what can I do? It hurts me so much to see him like this.
Encourage him to talk to someone, a therapist or a pastor who can offer a fresh perspective. You know, Proverbs 11:14 says, "Where there is no counsel, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety." Sometimes we need others to help us see the path God is leading us to.
But what if he refuses? My dad can be so stubborn, Lucas.
He loves you, Laura. He's always put you first, hasn't he? If he sees how much this matters to you, I believe he'll give it a chance.
You always know how to make things seem possible. Thank you, Lucas.
That's because we're a team, my dear. Your dad has a future full of joy waiting for him. Let's help him step into it.
Laura, what a lovely surprise. It's been ages since we've had good chat. Come, sit.
Thanks, Aunt Isabella. Dad told me you were around, so I thought I'd drop by.
That's so sweet of you. How's Jason doing?
He's fine. But honestly, Aunt Isabella, I'm worried about him.
Worried? What's going on?
With my wedding coming up, I can't shake the thought of leaving Dad all alone. He already seems so lonely, and once I'm gone, I don't know how he'll handle it.
You're not wrong to worry. I've been on him for years about finding someone to share his life with, but he always brushes it off, saying he doesn't want to disturb your peace.
Aunt Isabella, I think it's more than that. I think Dad is scared of opening his heart again, scared of being hurt or rejected. He's hiding behind that excuse.
You might be onto something. Jason has always been one to protect his emotions by burying himself in his work. But the truth is, loneliness isn't something you can just ignore forever.
Aunt Isabella, can you tell me what Dad was like before he married my mom? I want to understand him better.
Your dad? Oh, Laura, he was a completely different man. Vibrant, full of life, and always surrounded by friends. He was the kind of person who lit up every room he entered. It was at one of those lively gatherings that he first met your mom.
Did he have any close friends back then?
Yes, there was one in particular, Faith. They were inseparable during their university days. She was such a gentle soul, always encouraging him. But when he married your mom, Faith disappeared from the picture. I assumed they lost touch.
What happened to her?
I don't really know, but I bumped into her a few months ago when I came back from overseas. She's doing well. She runs a pharmaceutical shop now.
Faith. Do you think she still remembers Dad?
I wouldn't be surprised. Their friendship was something special. But, Laura, why the sudden interest?
I'm not sure yet. But Aunt Isabella, please don't tell Dad about this conversation.
Don't worry, my dear. My lips are sealed.
Dad, I'm heading out now.
Heading out? Where to?
Lucas and I are visiting someone.
Visiting someone? Sounds suspicious.
It's nothing serious, Dad. Just a small errand.
All right then. But don't forget, don't stay out too late.
I'll try my best, Dad. Promise.
Try doesn't sound convincing, young lady.
Okay. I'll be back on time. Thank you for doing this with me, Lucas. It means so much.
For you, I'd move mountains. So, what's the plan?
Like I told you, I'm going to meet someone from my dad's past, Faith. I want to understand more about him.
You think she'll even talk to you?
I don't know. But sometimes, God works in unexpected ways. Maybe this is part of his plan.
God's got this, Laura. Go on.
Thanks. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes? How can I help you?
My name is Laura. I was wondering if I could have a moment of your time in private.
In private? I'm quite busy at the moment.
I understand. I'm willing to book an appointment, if that works better.
All right. Tomorrow at my office upstairs should be fine.
Thank you, ma'am. Tomorrow works perfectly.
All right then. I'll see you tomorrow.
How did it go?
Better than I thought. She agreed to meet me tomorrow at her office.
Are you sure you're ready for this?
I had doubts earlier, but seeing her, there's something about her presence. I feel like this is a step God wants me to take.
You might be right, but just remember that this meeting can go either way.
Thank you, Lucas. I'll keep that in mind.
Welcome. It's nice to finally meet you. How can I help you today?
Thank you for agreeing to meet with me. My name is Laura. I'm Jason's daughter.
Jason? Which Jason are you talking about?
The same Jason you went to university with.
You mean you're his daughter?
Yes, I am.
I had no idea. Wow. How are your parents doing?
They're both doing well. But they're no longer together. My mom left when I was still a baby, and a few years later, they divorced.
I'm so sorry to hear this.
It's okay. I'm not really bearing any grudges. I understand that things didn't work out between them. But that's not why I'm here.
What brings you to me then?
I need your help. You see, my aunt told me that you and my dad were really close and you were in university. Ever since Mom left, Dad has been living a very lonely life. He doesn't have any female friends, and he's buried himself in his work. His excuse is that he doesn't want anyone coming into his life who might disturb my peace. But I'm about to get married, and I'll be leaving soon. I'm really worried that he's going to be all alone.
I see.
I don't know who else to talk to. I just want my dad to be happy again, to not feel so isolated. So when my aunt mentioned you, I thought maybe you could help.
Laura, I don't think I can be of any help. Especially considering how things ended between us.
What do you mean?
I'm glad you called me out here, Jason. It's been too long. How's work been treating you?
Work's fine. Busy, you know how it is. But that's not why I called you here. There's something important I need to tell you.
What's going on, Jason? You look serious.
Faith. I'm getting married.
Married? To whom?
Her name's Erica. We met a few months ago, and it's real.
A few months? That's quick, don't you think?
I love her, Faith. That's all that matters.
You're serious? Just like that, Jason?
Yes. I had never been more sure of anything in my life. Erica. She's the one.
So you've found someone? Just like that?
Yes, I'd never felt like this before. It's right, Faith.
Well, I'm glad for you, Jason. Truly. If you're happy, then I'm happy for you.
I knew you'd understand. I wanted to tell you, because you have always been there for me, as a friend.
Yeah. Friend. That's what I've always been. Just a friend.
What do you mean, Faith?
I've always cared for you, Jason. More than just as a friend. But I guess I was too late, wasn't I?
Too late? Faith. I don't understand.
I didn't expect this, Jason. I didn't expect you to tell me this. But it's okay. It's not your fault. I should have known better.
Faith, I didn't know. I never knew you felt this way.
No, Jason. I've been holding on to something that was never mine to begin with. And I can't do that anymore. You've made your choice. And I have to respect that.
Faith. I never meant to hurt you.
You didn't, Jason. You didn't. It's just that I've been holding on to a dream. A dream of us. But that dream was never real.
I had no idea, Faith. I never saw.
You don't have to. It's okay. I'm letting go. You go and be happy with Erica. I'll be fine.
Faith.
Goodbye, Jason.
Faith, what's wrong? You look like the weight of the world is on your shoulders.
My heart is broken, Becky. Completely shattered.
Broken? What are you talking about?
Jason. Jason is getting married. To someone else.
What? Jason? Getting married? That's unbelievable. This is so sudden.
I never saw it coming. I thought all the care and affection I've been showing him was enough for him to see my heart, to see how much I love him.
Faith, I told you. I told you to tell him how you feel. If you had been honest, it might have changed everything.
I thought he'd notice. I thought my actions spoke louder than words. I didn't want to ruin our friendship by saying something that might push him away.
Oh. Jason has always seen you as his sister. He was never going to figure it out on his own.
I know that now. But it's too late. He's already chosen someone else. He told me he loves her. He looked so happy, so sure. And I've lost him.
I'm so sorry. I know how much he meant to you. What are you going to do now?
I don't know. I feel like I've lost my best friend, Becky. Not just the man I love, but the person I've shared everything with.
I know it hurts now, but maybe this is God's way of redirecting you. Maybe this is part of his plan for you.
I want to believe that. But right now, all I feel is the emptiness where Jason used to be.
You're stronger than you think, my friend. You'll get through this. And who knows? Maybe God has someone even better waiting for you, someone who will see your heart and love you for who you are.
I hope so, Becky. I really do.
I'm really sorry to hear all of this. You loved my dad, but he didn't return that love. And he chose my mum. That must have been so painful for you.
Laura. But life goes on. I'm no longer angry or bitter about it. I've moved on and found my own peace.
I understand if you feel like you can't help, but my dad isn't a bad person. He's not someone who intentionally hurts people. Maybe you could reconsider.
Laura, I appreciate your kind words, but I really can't. There's too much history, and I've worked hard to move past it. I'm not sure revisiting that part of my life would be healthy for me, or for him.
I get it. I really do. But my dad is a good man. He's been carrying so much alone ever since my mom left. He doesn't let anyone in, and I don't think he even realizes how lonely he's become.
That's heartbreaking to hear, Laura. But what could I possibly do to help?
Maybe just pay us a visit. Nothing more, nothing less. Just see him. You don't have to commit to anything.
Laura, I don't think I can. It's been so many years. It feels strange.
All right. I won't push you. But just in case you change your mind, I'll leave our address here. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you listening to me.
You're a thoughtful young woman, Laura. Your dad is lucky to have you.
And I'm lucky to have him. Take care, Faith.
Jason. After all these years.
It's been a while, Faith. What brings you here?
Yes, it has. I've been busy.
Busy. Or is it your usual way of burying yourself in work? Ever since the whole Jason situation, you've been shutting everyone out of your life.
You're not wrong. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you about.
Jason? What about him?
Yesterday, the young woman showed up at my office. She introduced herself as Jason's daughter.
Wait, what? Jason's daughter? Are you serious?
Yes. She said her name is Laura. She told me her mom left years ago, and now Jason is all alone. She asked me to pay them a visit.
Jason. After all these years? That's unexpected.
That's what I thought too.
So, what did you tell her?
I told her I can't help him. That part of my life is over.
Maybe you should reconsider.
Reconsider? Becky, he left me for another woman.
It's not entirely his fault, Faith. You never told him how you felt. Jason probably saw you as his closest friend, not realizing there was more to it.
I know, but it doesn't change how much it hurt.
I get that. But it's been years. Maybe it's time to catch up with an old friend, Not for his sake, but for yours.
And what good would it do?
Closure, maybe. Or a chance to see how life has shaped him. Who knows, you might find peace where there was once pain.
Laura seemed so sincere, Becky. She just wants her dad to be happy.
Then go. You're not the same Faith you were back then, and he's probably not the same Jason. If nothing else, it's a chance to reconnect with the past and maybe even rewrite some of it.
You might be right. Maybe I should go.
That's the Faith I know. Go and see where it leads. You've got nothing to lose and maybe a lot to gain.
Thanks, Becky. You always know what to say.
Of course, I do. Now go and start planning your visit.
How are you, dear?
I'm fine, thank you. Please come in and have a seat. Welcome. I'm glad you finally made it. What can I offer you?
Just water will be fine, thank you.
All right, please excuse me for a moment. Dad, we have a guest.
A guest? I wasn't expecting anyone. Who is it?
I'm not sure. She's asking for you. You should come and see if you know her.
All right, I'm coming. Faith?
Jason? Is this really you?
How? How did you find me?
It's a long story. But how are you, Jason?
I'm okay. I wasn't expecting you, though. It is unexpected.
I can imagine.
So, how's your husband?
My husband? I've been single for as long as I can remember.
Single? I thought. There was a time I tried to find you years ago, but I was told you were getting ready for your wedding.
The wedding never happened. After you left, it was one disappointment after another. Eventually, I stopped trying and buried myself in my work.
I'm sorry to hear that, Faith. But I'm glad you have built a successful life for yourself.
Thank you. It wasn't easy, but I managed. I have to go now. I decided to pay you a visit for old time's sake.
That's thoughtful of you.
Thank you for your time.
Let me walk you to the door.
Take care, Jason.
You too, Faith.
Dad, Faith told me she's been trying to reach you, but you're not answering her calls.
That's true.
Why, Dad? Why are you shutting her out?
Because I don't want to deal with it.
Deal with what? An old friend trying to reconnect.
Commitment, Laura. I don't want to get entangled in something I can't handle.
Dad, you've been alone for so long. What are you so afraid of?
I'm not afraid. I'm protecting my heart.
Protecting your heart from what? From being loved? From letting someone care for you? Dad, this isn't protection, it's a prison.
You don't understand, Laura.
No, Dad. You don't understand. Loneliness is eating you alive. Even God said, it's not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. Faith could be that person for you, but you won't even give her a chance.
I don't need Faith, and I don't need anyone. I just want my peace.
Peace. This isn't peace, Dad. This is fear. And I won't stand by and watch you waste away in this loneliness anymore. If you won't seek help, I'll call off my wedding.
What? Laura, you can't do that.
Watch me.
Laura, open this door.
Not until you agree to get help, Dad. I'm serious. I'll cancel everything.
Laura, please don't do this.
I love you, Dad. I can't let you go on like this. You need help, and you know it.
Okay. Okay. I'll do whatever you want. Just open the door.
Not for me, Dad. For you. You deserve more than this.
I'll do it. I'll get help. Just open the door.
Thank you, Dad. You don't know how much this means to me.
I'm sorry, Laura. I never wanted to hurt you.
Then let's move forward together.
Becky. What a surprise. I wasn't expecting you.
I was in the neighborhood and thought I'd drop by to say hi.
That's so thoughtful of you. Come in, have a seat. So, how's everything going?
Everything's fine, thank God. But you didn't tell me about your visit to Jason's house. How did it go?
Honestly, there's not much to tell. He's still the same old Jason, nonchalant and frustratingly distant. He hasn't changed.
How do you mean? Wasn't he excited to see you?
Oh, he was. We talked, laughed like old times, it felt nice, but...
But what?
I've been hoping he'd take things to the next level, you know? Maybe reach out or show he's interested in reconnecting on a deeper level. But nothing. I've called him several times, and he hasn't even bothered to answer.
Maybe he's just taking his time to process everything. Men can be slow with these things. You shouldn't give up on him just yet.
Becky, he's a grown man. I'm not here to babysit him or decipher his emotions. If he doesn't know what he wants, there's no way I can help him figure it out.
I get it, Faith. It's frustrating. But sometimes, life surprises us when we least expect it. Just keep an open mind, okay?
I'll try, but no promises.
That's all I ask. I have to run now, but let me know how things unfold.
Thanks for coming around, Becky. It's always good to talk to you.
Anytime, Faith. Don't lose hope.
Thank you for coming, Jason. I know it takes courage to be here. Where would you like to start?
I guess. I'm here because my daughter insisted. She thinks I'd shut myself off from the world. And maybe she's right.
Sometimes those closest to us see things we can't. Tell me, what's holding you back?
It's Erica. My ex-wife. I loved her, and Drew. More than anything. I gave her my heart, my trust, and my life revolved around her. But then, she betrayed me.
Betrayal is one of the deepest cuts a heart can endure. Can you tell me what happened?
It was like my entire world shattered. But the worst part wasn't just losing her, it was how she left me. I was in the hospital, I was diagnosed with a broken heart. She left me there, alone. Didn't even look back.
What you've been through is devastating. Betrayal, especially by someone we trust and love deeply, is one of the worst kinds of emotional pain. Psychologists agree that it's uniquely painful because it comes from those closest to us. I know that your experience must have been incredibly painful.
It was. But I'd forgiven her. A long time ago, actually. I realized carrying bitterness would only make things worse. But even though I'd let it go, I can't seem to move forward.
It sounds like you're not afraid of the past, you're afraid of the future.
Maybe. After Erica, I promised myself I wouldn't go through that kind of pain again. I shut the door on relationships. It felt safer that way.
But safety isn't the same as living, Jason. You've built walls around your heart to protect yourself, but those same walls are keeping out love, joy, and connection.
I don't know if I can trust anyone like that again.
Trust is a risk. There's no denying that. But Jason, trust is also a gift. It's the foundation of meaningful relationships. You've forgiven Erica, which shows you have the capacity for grace. Now it's time to extend that grace to yourself.
How? How do I let someone in when every instinct tells me to stay guarded?
It starts with small steps. Trust doesn't happen overnight. It's built piece by piece, moment by moment. But it requires vulnerability, letting someone see the real you, even the parts you're afraid to show.
Vulnerability. That's hard.
It is. But think about your daughter. She wants to see you happy. She believes in your ability to love again. What would it look like to open yourself up, even just a little, for her sake, and for your own?
I don't know. I'm scared.
It's okay to be scared, Jason. Fear doesn't mean you can't do it, it just means it matters to you. And if you take even one small step toward trust, you'll find that the walls you've built aren't as unbreakable as they seem.
You make it sound possible.
Because it is. Healing doesn't mean you forget the pain. It means you learn to live beyond it. And when you allow yourself to trust again, you give love a chance to surprise you in ways you never imagined.
Alright. I'll try.
That's all anyone can ask, Jason. Good morning, sir. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. Is Laura home? I've been trying to reach her, but her phone's off.
Morning, Lucas. No interruption at all. Come in.
Is everything alright, sir?
Not entirely. Laura switched off her phone and declared she is not talking to anyone until I see a therapist.
Wait, what? Is that why I haven't been able to reach her?
Yes. And to make matters worse, she threatened to call off the wedding if I didn't take her seriously.
Call off the wedding? Laura? She wouldn't.
Oh, she would. But don't worry, I've started seeing a therapist.
That's a step in the right direction, sir. You know how much Laura means to me, and I'd hate for things to spiral because of this. But more than that, I care about you too.
I'm doing it for her, Lucas. If it weren't for her ultimatum, I wouldn't have bothered.
With all due respect, sir, that's not the right mindset. Laura may have pushed you, but this isn't just about her. It's about you.
I'd been fine on my own for years. Why does everyone think I need to change?
You may think you've been fine, but what kind of life is it to live behind walls of fear? Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." God didn't design us to live in isolation, especially not out of fear.
Fear? I'm not afraid, Lucas. I'm just protecting myself.
That is fear. Fear of being hurt again. But you can't let the past hold your future hostage. Remember what the Bible says in 2 Timothy 1:7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." You have the strength within you, sir, to overcome this fear and step into the future God has prepared for you. Sometimes, we just need to lean on that truth and take the next step.
I never thought of it that way.
Laura's not doing this to punish you, sir. She loves you and sees what you don't, the loneliness you've tried to mask. God himself said in Genesis 2:18, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him."
I'd been praying, Lucas. I'd asked God to guide me.
That's good, sir. Prayer is powerful. But remember, faith without action is dead. Sometimes, God answers through people, therapists, pastors, even your own daughter. Laura's push might just be the nudge you need.
I never thought trusting again would be this hard.
Healing isn't easy, but it's worth it. You don't have to face this journey alone. Let others help you carry the load. I'd suggest speaking to a pastor too, someone outside your usual circle.
I'll think about it.
That's all anyone can ask. And remember, Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in a future." God's plan for you isn't over yet.
Alright, Lucas. I'll give this my best shot, for Laura, and maybe even for myself.
Jason, I'm truly glad you're here today. Sometimes, taking the first step to open up is the hardest part. What's weighing on your heart?
Pastor, I don't know where to begin. It's been years since Erica left, and I thought forgiving her would set me free. But I'm still trapped. I can't seem to move on. Every time I think about letting someone into my life, I just shut down.
That kind of pain leaves deep scars, Jason. Betrayal, especially by someone we trust and love, can feel like it tears a piece of your soul away. Tell me about what you're holding on to.
Erica and I were married. I loved her more than anything. But when I needed her the most, when I was lying in that hospital bed, broken in more ways than one, she walked away. Just left. I'd forgiven her, Pastor. I've prayed for her. But the thought of opening my heart again, it terrifies me.
Betrayal is one of the deepest wounds a person can endure. You're not alone in this, Jason. Think of Joseph, betrayed by his own brothers and sold into slavery. Or Samson, deceived by Delilah. Even our Savior, Jesus was betrayed by Judas, someone he considered a friend.
I'd read those stories, Pastor, but it doesn't make it hurt any less.
Of course not. Your pain is real, and it matters. Psalm 55 captures this perfectly. It is not an enemy who insults me. Otherwise, I could bear it. But it is you, my companion, my close friend. When the wound comes from someone so close, it cuts deeper than we ever thought possible.
It's not just the pain. It's the fear. What if it happens again? I don't think I could survive it a second time.
Fear is a powerful chain, but it's not unbreakable. The enemy whispers lies into our hearts, telling us we're unworthy of love or doomed to repeat our pain. But God's truth is louder. Isaiah 43:4 says, "You are precious and honored in my sight, because I love you."
Precious? I don't feel that way. I feel broken.
Jason, God specializes in healing the broken. Look at Joseph's story. Betrayed, falsely accused, imprisoned, and yet, Genesis 39:21 says, "The Lord was with him. He showed him kindness and granted him favor." God is with you too, even in this valley.
I prayed, I tried to move forward. But I feel stuck, like I'm drowning in my own fear.
It's okay to feel that way. Ecclesiastes 3:4 tells us there's a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. You've been through immense loss, Jason. It's okay to grieve. But don't let grief define your future.
And what if I'm not ready? What if I never trust again?
Forgiveness is the first step, but not just forgiveness for Erica. You need to forgive yourself for holding onto the fear. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing what happened. It means releasing the bitterness, handing it over to God, and allowing Him to heal you.
I thought I had forgiven her, Pastor. But every time I think about moving forward, it's like her shadow is still there, holding me back.
Then it's time to let go of that shadow. God is calling you into something greater. Hosea 2:14 says, "I will lead her into the wilderness and speak tenderly to her." This season of loneliness and fear can become a sacred space where God speaks to your heart in ways you've never imagined.
Do you really think I can trust again? That I can love again?
I know you can. Trust isn't built in a day, Jason. It's a journey. Surround yourself with godly people, pray for wisdom and discernment, and take it one step at a time. Remember, Jeremiah 29:11 promises, "I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future."
I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm willing to try.
That's all God asks of you. A willing heart is the starting point for His greatest miracles. Trust Him, and watch how He transforms your life.
Thank you so much, Laura. You were right about the counseling. I'd begun to feel lighter, like a weight I didn't even know I was carrying has been lifted off my shoulders.
That's all I ever wanted for you, Dad, for you to find happiness again. I'm so proud of you for opening your heart, even just a little.
It's really working, Laura. The sessions have helped me confront things I buried long ago. I never thought I'd feel this kind of peace again.
That's wonderful to hear, Dad. But you know what I think?
Oh, I'm sure you're about to tell me.
I think it's time you reach out to Faith.
Faith? I don't think that's such a good idea, considering how things ended between us all those years ago.
Dad, I know about what happened. And let me tell you, it wasn't your fault.
She told you?
Yes, she did. Everything. Faith holds no grudges against you, Dad. She understands what you were going through back then. So, no more excuses. You owe it to yourself, and to her, to see where this could lead.
I don't know, Laura. It's been so long. What if I mess things up again?
You won't. You've changed, Dad. You've grown. And Faith sees that too. Trust me, she's not expecting perfection. She just wants to know if your heart is open.
I'll try. But, by the way, how did you even get to know about her?
Oh, Dad, that's my little secret. Just know that I have been rooting for you two for a while now.
Rooting for us?
Yes, and just so you know, I'm not leaving this house until you find yourself a companion.
You're relentless, you know that?
That's because I love you, Dad. So, what do you say?
Anything for my lovely angel.
What about doing it for yourself?
Alright. I'll do it for me too.
Now that sounds better.
Jason? What a surprise. I wasn't expecting to see you.
I didn't mean to barge in on you like this, Faith. Can we go somewhere private to talk?
Alright, let me grab my keys.
Faith, I'd been meaning to have this conversation for a long time. I'm sorry for how things ended between us years ago.
You don't need to apologize. It wasn't your fault.
But it feels like it was. I carried that guilt with me. But, Faith, I need to ask, why didn't you ever tell me how you felt about me back then?
I was scared. Scared that if you didn't feel the same way, I might lose you entirely. You were my best friend, Jason. I didn't want to risk that.
Faith, I had feelings for you too.
You? You did?
Yes. I was just as scared. Every time you introduced me to your friends as your brother, I thought that's all you saw me as. You reminded me so much of my sister Isabella, kind, caring, always looking out for me. I thought you just wanted me in that sibling zone.
Jason, I had no idea.
That's why I'm here now. Faith, I don't want to live with regrets anymore. Maybe it's time we stop being afraid. Maybe we should give us a chance.
Jason, are you doing this for Laura?
No, Faith. I'm doing this for us. We deserve to be happy again, to love and be loved.
I don't know what to say.
Say yes, Faith. Say yes, and I promise I'll never let go of your hand again. Please. Marry me.
Yes, Jason. Yes. I have missed you, missed us, for so long.
Thank you, Faith. You have made me a complete man again.
You've made me believe in love again.
Then let's start preparing right away. We have waited long enough.
Betrayal cuts deep, leaving scars on the heart that feel impossible to heal. The pain of being hurt by someone you trusted, someone you loved, can feel unbearable. Yourself questioning everything, your worth, your choices, even your ability to trust again. But in the midst of this storm, God is calling you to bring your pain to Him. In Isaiah 26:4, God listens, answers, and stands as our eternal rock. David's cry in Psalm 55:22 speaks directly to your heart. Cast your burden on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. Your pain is not too heavy for God to carry. He sees your tears, hears your cries, and knows the depths of your wounds. Jesus, too, understands betrayal. He was sold for silver by Judas, denied by Peter, and abandoned in his greatest hour of need. Yet, he forgave, surrendered his hurt to God, and trusted the Father's perfect plan. God cares deeply for you, as 1 Peter 5:7 reminds us, cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. You don't have to hold on to the anger, the bitterness, or the sorrow. Release it into God's loving hands. Holding on to pain only deepens the wound. Instead, let Him comfort you, heal you, and show you the way forward. Forgiveness may seem impossible, but it is the key to your freedom. It doesn't mean excusing the betrayal or forgetting the pain. It means surrendering the weight of it to God and choosing to trust Him to bring justice in His time. Remember Isaiah 41:10, Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. You don't have to walk this journey alone. God is with you, and His love will never fail. Trust Him to guide you toward healing, and when the time is right, He will restore your ability to trust and love again. You are not defined by betrayal, you are defined by the love of a God who calls you His own. Give Him your heart, and watch Him work wonders in your life. In Jesus' name, Amen.